All right. And we're live
All right.
where we left off. The party continued their travels in the direction of Turtleback Ferry, stopping by some of the towns in between Turtleback and Magnamar, getting to know some of the locals and hearing of a bounty wanted on a particular hobgoblin commander and his followers. Following the advice of the local citizens, they traveled into the forest and found the hobgoblin camp, well fortified and manned, with two prisoners tied to poles. They swiftly engaged the hobgoblins and, after a lengthy combat, managed to dispatch all enemies and rescuing both of the captured individuals. You now find yourself in the hobgoblin's camp with bodies strewn all over the ground, making red the dirt with their blood. Several of them headless from your final attacks, and others burnt to a crisp. The two prisoners, now safe from harm's way, recover under a tree. And it seems that there is a fair amount of kind of goods and items scattered all over the camp in a bit of a mishmash. What would you like to do?
Right. Do you want to go see what they've got hidden away in this palisade while I chop off their heads and take this big fucker and throw him on the back of my horse so we can get that bounty?
Yeah, I think your blade's definitely more attuned to that than my arrows.
It's just holding up his sword like mine's bigger. Yeah, Tristan's just gonna go. He's gonna set the lead hobgoblin aside. Obviously, we're just gonna take his whole ass body in, so there's no doubt. But we're supposed to be getting some bonus for heads, so I'm just gonna hack off all the rest of the corpses. I'm just gonna hack off their heads and tie all their heads together by their hair in like a very macabre kind of sack thing.
All right.
300 style with all the dead heads.
All right. It takes you some time to collect all the heads, but in total, you find 11 hobgoblin heads, as well as the body of the hobgoblin commander. And while he's doing that, what would you like to do, Anthar?
I'm gonna be searching through these tents, see what I can find.
All right. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception. Okay, well, that's 32.
All right. Rummaging through the camp and tents, you find. Do you have the party inventory up? Take this down.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, thanks, Tristan.
No problem.
Well, yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Go ahead.
You find 4 ever-burning torches.
Wow.
On the hobgoblin commander's body, you find a glaive, 1 compound short bow, 1 set of half plate armor, on the hobgoblin soldiers, you find short swords, a total of 11, short bows, a total of 11, scale mail, a total of 11, a skip those for a sec. A potion of swimming.
Nice.
That could come in handy.
About 44 days worth of rations for a single individual. $180 arrows.
Yo.
Oh.
Can't there any more arrows?
Yeah, I could use some more.
Okay.
155 gold pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go up to the top to do that one. 150?
155.
155. So that'll be. Give me a second. I gotta do some quick calculations. So we have 36, 21 in there right now. Plus 155 is. Okay, that is. That's 377, 6. Okay.
275 silver pieces.
275?
Mhm.
Or 175?
275.
Okay, 488. Okay.
And 412 copper pieces.
422. Okay.
You also find in the commander's tent a leather-bound journal and a letter with the seal of that appears to be like a stamp of a turtle, a large turtle. Do you take a look at any of those?
Yeah, let's open that up.
Which one would you like to read first?
We had the leather-bound journal and a leather-bound ledger.
A leather-bound journal and a letter.
Let's open them up.
A written letter with a wax seal of a turtle as its seal.
We'll open up the journal first.
All right. And do you read Goblin?
No.
It looks like.
Comprehend languages.
Do you? Do you? I don't think so.
Does Shalelu?
Ooh,
I mean,
actually,
she has been goblin hunting. If she's not, she's a shitty goblin hunter.
Actually,
Question: Does she?
That's a good question. Let me check.
Good, because I don't. I don't. Bougie upper class education. They're like, oh, we don't need you to learn that filthy language.
Oh, she does know Goblin.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
we were probably fucked.
Yeah. Shalelu, take a look at this.
Do something useful.
What was that, Tristan?
Tristan's fuck off far away. Didn't actually say that.
Okay. Yes, Anthar. What is it?
This journal is definitely unreadable to my eyes. How about you take a look?
Well, I will certainly do my best. She opens up the journal, flips through a few pages. Ah, interesting. There's a few notes about being pushed from their ancestral homes north of the Hook Mountain region. It says here that an orc band had pushed into the hobgoblin's territory with a commander, a one-handed commander. Interesting. There's a kind of a rather lackluster description of him being taller than than most orcs, and certainly fearsome. Beyond that, it's mostly a account of various farmsteads in the region that have been, looks like most recently sacked in the last few weeks. Beyond that, it's a bit of a ramble.
That's excellent information. I believe this one-handed orc is the brother of Outramir.
Really?
I can only suspect. There's not too many one-handed orcs floating around.
Well, suppose it's always possible. Has Outramir ever talked about his brother?
Once. He doesn't really like to talk about it, though.
Did he provide any detail?
Yes. Anthar's going to take a quick recall knowledge as my dog just takes my notes. My animal companion just ate my notes.
Oh no.
That's okay. I believe he had scar on his face, or no, that's Outramir. Didn't I think he ended up killing Outramir's like mentor, and yeah, really left cut ties to Outramir in all ways.
Well, that is somewhat discouraging. That coupled with this description here, it seems that this one-handed orc, be it Outramir's brother or not, is certainly taking command of a orc band, and they certainly are not to be trifled with. Well, why don't we take a look at this letter as well? She opens up the letter and begins to read it. It seems that this letter is penned by Mayor Streed, the mayor of Turtleback Ferry. And it was sent, or at least intended, for Lord Mayor Grobros, the mayor of Magnamar. It says here that he's requesting aid for he has not heard back from the Black Arrows or Fort Radnock for some time. And though messengers were sent to the fort, none have returned. And it seems he has a notation here. He is, at the time of writing this letter, unsure what the problem is, and asks again for some aid from Magnamar.
Oh, gee, I wonder why that didn't come. Tristan says as he hacks off another dragon goblin head. I wonder why it didn't freaking come.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're kind of caught in the middle here.
I really hate getting caught in the middle of political machinations. Give me a good, clean war any day of the week.
Wow, that's pretty unfortunate.
Yes, indeed. Well, suppose there's nothing more to make of it. There's doesn't seem to be anything else on this in this journal or in this letter. Be interesting to speak with this Mayor Shreed once we make it to Turtleback Ferry.
Yeah, I think that would be a good point of information, and we can probably figure out some answers or more questions.
I find it's a bit of a coin flip.
A roll of the dice, as they say.
Ah, yes, indeed. Well, I suppose we should look after those prisoners and see to them before continuing on our journey.
Tristan chooses that moment to come in holding a bunch of heads. Like, okay, I got the. What? Am I interrupting something here?
Not at all.
Okay.
Looking good. You're looking good, Tristan.
I'll just. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go put these on the horses. You two, take your time. I gotta go put the heads on the horses.
All right. Go ahead and add to your inventory 11 hobgoblin heads. And
is that including the leader? Because I didn't behead him. We're just taking his fucking body.
Go ahead and toss it into the inventory as the body. Hobgoblin commander. Oh wait, he had a name. What was?
It was like Blaws or something, or
Glozog the Dread.
Yeah,
Glozog the Dread. Corpse. And then, is that still 11 hobgoblin bodies, or are we only doing 10?
Nope, it's 11.
Okay.
Wait, can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you guys killed 11 of them.
Nice.
Yep.
Wait.
Well, Anthar, since you're so skilled with your hands, why don't you go take a look at the prisoners, see if they need any medical attention?
We have 2 donkeys we can put them on. We can take them back to town.
Well, we should make sure that they're fit to ride first. Wouldn't you agree, Tristan?
Tristan kind of bites his tongue because he's like, I mean, if they aren't, I could always just knock them out, throw them over the donkeys, and take them back later. But and opts to think, maybe that's not the right thing to say in this moment. And just kind of nods like, yeah, you're probably right.
And there's like, right, good answer. I'm gonna walk over
Imagine
there.
Shalalu's like lecturing Tristan right now, and Anthar is behind him like,
You've already done enough. Yeah, he's gonna go over and tend to their wounds.
All right, so you find 2 individuals, a male and a female, and they seem to be on the cusp of almost being comatose.
What?
With the sheer amount of excitement and just by the obvious glance, some level of lack of food and dehydration.
Yeah. The rations that we found, I'm gonna start giving them some, and any medical attention they need.
All right, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
I will subtract.
Okay.
I'll subtract a couple of days of rations from our from our kind of overall supplies.
Is this to like? Do I have to?
Just to kind of
Just a
revivify
basic
them a
medical.
little. Yeah, just to kind of revivify them. It looks like they are pretty low on health, actually, just from not necessarily from combat so much as lack of food and sustenance and water in particular. And in fact, as you come over, the male in kind of a raspy voice speaks, do you have any water?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I was just gonna give him my water. Out of the water.
All right. He with kind of a weakened hand, he drinks about half the water and kind of chokes on it.
Tristan's
The
gonna
water,
go over and like kind of lower it, be like, easy, you gotta drink slow.
as you're kind of doing this, he kind of chokes on it and kind of splashes a little bit on his face and kind of almost pushes it into his face to kind of revivify him. Hands the water skin over to the female. Thank you. It's so much so much better. Thank you so much, adventurous. Wasn't sure if we'd ever make it out of there.
Well, luckily we motorized the living bejesus out of them, so I think we'll get you back to the town, we'll get you taken care of, and I think you'll be all right. You're gonna be a little shell shocked for a while, but you should be able to make it through okay.
How long were you in prison?
I think they captured us about a week ago and didn't feed us anything and gave us only enough water to stay alive. Do you have any food?
I'll hand them the ration.
He kind of takes a chunk of it. Thank you.
Easy. You're malnourished. It's going to hit you a lot harder than it normally would. You don't want to be spitting it back up in a few minutes.
He takes a few bites out of the rations. So, why exactly are you here? Did you come to save us?
Yes, we came to save you.
Uh,
We also came for the bounty on the goblins, but we had heard that you lot had been missing, so we figured it was the only right thing to do.
Oh, thank you. If there's anything I can do to repay your kindness, please don't hesitate to ask.
Go home and get better. That's what I'm going to tell you to do.
Where is your home? Is it what's it called? Illustru or whatever it's called.
We had a small farmstead some ways from here. And he kind of...
Wait, is that your wife?
It is.
Oh.
Shoot. Oh my gosh.
Tristan's gonna mutter under his breath, one hell of a honeymoon.
But I'm afraid we don't have much of a home to go back to. You see, they burnt down our farmstead and ransacked our home. Is there... I don't suppose there's any possibility of us joining you for, at least for the time being.
Anthar looks at Tristan just like, we can't babysit them kind of look, but
Tristan's gonna kind of like, I'm gonna try and size them up a little bit, see what they're made of. Because I mean, if they're farmers,
go ahead and roll a perception check.
yeah. That's a dirty 20.
By the looks of them, they aren't what you would consider skilled laborers or in anything but farming. But the male and female, they both seem to be pretty well built with many years of tending to the farm and tending to the crops, moving heavy loads and picking up heavy items. So they're pretty, at the moment, they seem a bit weakened, but they certainly, if they were to strengthen themselves over food and water the next couple of days, they probably be back to a pretty strong state.
Tristan's going to kind of look back to Anthar and be like, all right, well, you can come with us. We have a couple of donkeys. You can stay with us for the next few days until we can get you back up to health. and from there we'll figure out if there's anywhere you need to go or anything you need to do.
Thank you so much. And what was your names?
That's Shalelu, that's Anthar, my name's Tristan.
Thank you so much. And he goes back to eating his rations and drinking some water and just generally recovering from the day's events.
I go over to Anthar and I ask, "Do you get everything from the encampment? Is there anything we missed?"
I got everything inside the tents.
Mhm.
I didn't really look outside the tents though.
Is there anything outside the tents?
Let's take a lap.
Let's take a gander. We're not, suffering from dehydration and malnutrition.
No, I feel great after this.
Yeah, like fit.
Especially since I just healed myself.
All right, go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
27.
Oh shoot! I got a really high one.
Ooh.
37.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around, you don't find much else with the exception of a few somewhat sloppily laid traps and a couple of game trails. Looks like they're specifically targeting either rabbit or deer.
Okay. Well, if it's all the same to you, Tristan,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I think you might be the only archer. But I think I'm going to take that composite short bow.
You know what? You take that composite short bow. I'm going to pull the half plate armor off of that corpse and see just what kind of a state it's in.
It looks like it's pretty well bloodied.
Obviously.
Beaten up a fair amount. With a little bit of work, you could knock out most of those dents, and though not pretty, could be used as a functional set of armor.
Hey, was there a blacksmith back at that town we came from?
Either might have been. I don't know that we went around and ended up seeing one, but I'm sure they have something.
Yeah, might be able to shore this up a little bit. It'll do. If not, I'll just buy a set to replace it. I kind of just thump a knuckle against my breastplate, which I'm sure by this point is just covered in scratches and notches and dings and dents.
It most certainly is. Although not much more than the plate, half plate of armor you just took off the hobgoblin. They're about the same. If you had to guess, you probably would say this set probably came off a dead body or 2 or 3 in its past.
It's a little old school. It's vintage armor.
Yeah.
All right.
But functional.
Oh yeah, no, the
certainly
bones are
functional, just not pretty.
good. Yeah, she needs a buff. She needs some shine. She needs a little doer upper. So I'll be like, all right, but this is mine.
Anthony has no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, by all means, take that compound short bow. I mean, I have next to no use to it, so.
And seeing your aim, you could have used some work. So
I'm going to ignore that slight.
I just play.
That's bull talk for somebody in sword range, Anthar. I don't think I did too bad.
Not bad. I've seen you do better though.
I'm gonna get on a fucking horse. Okay. Long pointy-eared cave bastard.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Anthar is I think we're ready to get a move on here.
Yeah, let's. We got everything. We got the heads. We killed everyone in here. I'm guessing this fort, from that letter, is probably owned by someone in the town. So probably not really, probably not something we need to burn to the fucking ground. But let's go. Let's reclaim our supplies. Take a couple of days, decompress, get the prisoners back up to snuff, and pawn some of this crap and get everything else kind of trued up a bit.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, so you're heading back to
the town where we got the bounty.
Got it.
Backtracking just a little bit.
Go ahead and roll a survival check. Whoever's leading.
How's
your survival?
My survival's at a 12 and I rolled an 18. So I think that's a 30.
Yeah.
And you're leading?
Anthar, do you want to see if you can roll better?
I mean, that's pretty good.
Okay. Do you want to take the 30?
Yeah, we can just take the 30. That's cool.
All right, we'll take the 30.
All right. So following your tracks back, you make it back to Isirion right about sunset. Your two followers following behind you on the donkey mounts, after about an hour's rest, managed to actually keep pace with you relatively well. They're falling behind just a wee bit, but they certainly seem much livelier than when you first found them.
Mm.
By the time you make it back to town, it's nearing sunset. You probably have a couple hours left in the day. And you are definitely drawing a few heads as you come back into town with the hobgoblin chieftain and 11 dismembered heads mounted to your horses.
What's up?
Fine day, traveler.
Yeah, it is. Killed the shit out of some hobgoblins. It was great.
I can see that.
Tristan just has like a bloodthirsty look in his eye, like, yeah, it's great.
A guy has just a twinge of a nervous laugh, like, yeah, yep.
Yeah, great. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Definitely a good haul for sure.
Oh yeah, let's go get paid.
Yeah. Where do you suppose we go?
I mean, I'm guessing we're not gonna go bring this into the inn. Let's go find the closest thing to a town hall they have.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Asking around, you find that the looks like the local church kind of operates both as a town hall and as the church. And you make it up to the main cathedral. Cathedral might be a bit of an overstatement. It's really more of a ramshackle building. Granted, this is certainly a small, sleepy fishing village.
Mm-hmm.
So their kind of definition of cathedral is more like a very nice shack. Certainly the nicest building in town, but constructed entirely of wood, barely even a stone foundation, with a largely thatched roof.
Yeah. What was the reward on this again? Because
well, I believe it was 500 for the big boy, and a total of 275 for the heads. Let's hope they have.
Sure they have like 775 gold pieces to scrape together? Because
they might be working for us, maybe.
Because I mean, I didn't nearly lose y'all and fight a bunch of hobgoblins to not get paid. So
true. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some debt to be paid for sure.
Yeah, let's find out. So I'm gonna wrap my fist against the door.
Open. You knock against the door, and a moment later, a cleric of Erastil opens the door. Greetings, adventurers. May I help you?
Just from the Knight of the Realm, killed your hobgoblins.
He kind of looks over his shoulder. Oh, so you did. Seems somewhat surprised. Well, all right then. Well, I suppose you'd be wanting payment.
Yeah, a little bit, and maybe a bath later, but not here. Holy Father.
Well, please come in and leave the heads on the mounts. We don't need those inside.
Tristan leaves the heads on the mounts. He's like, just make sure the body isn't gonna slip off the back of Longshank's leg. All right, we're
good. He leads you into the cathedral. The inside seems much finer than the exterior would lead you to believe. Oil lanterns line the main hall. Fairly nice rugs line the floor with various pews.
Heard it too.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's where the money's coming from. This seems more like a Kaj and a Raptor mission if there's drugs lining the floor.
No, not quite.
Just lining the floor. In a church.
No, not quite. And on the opposite side, a shrine to Seratil. Go ahead and roll a knowledge religion check, both of you.
Oh yes, I love hopefully learning about religion.
18.
19.
All right, you identify Seratil as the god of the hunt. One of the oldest human gods that's worshipped in the region. Largely worshipped by those aligning with lawful, neutral, good, and lawfully good. Pretty common in this part of the world. Usually worshipped by farmers, hunters, and various sorts of tradesmen. The sigil of the god is a bow made of a great antler and a single arrow pointed down.
Heather, do you have a bow like that? That thing's sweet.
That looks a little flimsy for my style. But yeah, that looks really stylish.
The cleric leads you to a small office, at which point he takes a key from around his neck and unlocks a small safe underneath the table, grabbing a total of 775 gold pieces and lays them out on the table in a kind of a medium-sized coin purse. Well, thank you so much. You're free to go if you'd like. If you care to stay, there's the inn in town. You might want to wash up a bit. Be it a bit gory, if I may be so bold. But
a little bit.
But the citizens of Sirion, thank you so much for your accomplishments. You are free to leave the remains around the side of the cathedral. I'll see that someone takes care of them.
Cool.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I already added it to the inventory, so we should be good. Tristan's gonna be like, I'm a little uncomfortable in this holy place. I'm gonna just go. So Tristan goes to presumably drop off the remains around the side of the building.
All right.
Anthar, if there's anything you want to do while you're there, dude, go for it.
No, I don't have the innate ability just to steal from a church. So so Anthar's just gonna follow suit after Tristan.
That was a surprisingly nice church in there.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, who'd have thunk? I mean, I'm assuming they're doing this like as they toss like heads onto the side of the building, and as they're just like shuffling and carrying that hobgoblin's body.
Anthar realizes the awkward situation and like carefully places a head, making sure no one sees him. Like, is this a safe spot for this?
Just throw. Just like, I'm gonna see if I can hit the one that just landed with this one.
As you are moving the bodies from your mounts to the side of the cathedral, it seems that the weather is kind of beginning to close in, and raindrops begin to fall from the now cloudy skies.
Oh,
right. I know we need a bath, but I'm not. But that's not how I want to get it. So, the inn, ale, bath, bed.
Yeah, I
Right,
hate when my ears get wet like this.
Right. All right, let's go. Shalelu, if you don't mind bringing around the horses, we gotta go.
She swings around with horses in tow and your followers behind on their mule mounts. Well, shall we make our way to the inn and see to a bath?
Yep, we shall.
All right, riding through town, you make your way to the one and only inn in town. There we go. The Cobalt's Cavern.
Mm.
And as you make it through the front door, it seems to be a fairly modest inn by the standards of Magnemar and those of even Sandpoint, but cozy nonetheless, with a small kind of a reading nook and a few scrolls and books lying around, and the warmth of a fire emanating from one corner. Behind the tavern, behind the bar, which seems to be about a foot shorter than what you come to expect, is a red cobalt tending to the bar and polishing a glass.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Anthar, are you saying what I'm saying?
Are those tiny dragon people?
They're what polite company called kobolds, but pretty much, yeah.
Huh.
More or less, yeah. That's
I don't think I see too many of those.
No, and generally they're not pouring drinks. Generally speaking, they're serving dragons and fucking up adventurers.
So should we be extra cautious?
I would say be polite, be courteous, try not to offend. But I mean, if he tries to fuck with either of us or rip us off, I'll turn him into a grease smear on the floor.
Anthar's just gonna.
We'll go ahead and we'll take care of that. If like I'm not paying 5 gold because this is the only inn in town. Again, that was.
No,
we
don't
talk about that. Tristan's gonna go walk up to the Cobalt and just kind of, like, greetings, evening.
Greetings, tall one. Would you like a drink?
Drink 3. Hang on. 5, actually, and 2 rooms, if you have them.
2 rooms and some drinks? That can be
Please.
done.
Oh, okay.
Would you, if I may be so bold, also advise a bath?
Oh, God, please.
I realize it's raining outside, but
Yeah, yes.
very well. 3 baths as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the baths are over there, and he points to 2 doors to the opposite side of the tavern. Looks like one's noted as male, the other female. And you're welcome to go right in. I'll bring some drinks around later. Would you like any food with your drinks?
What's the house special? We don't want to, be too particular.
Well, the house special is a carp stew. Very hearty, very nice, with a cream sauce. And, of course, some black bread. Some blood bread, if you like that sort of thing.
All right. Sure, we'll take 5, but give a extra bit of bread to my 2 travel-weary companions there at the end. The humans, not the elves. They've had a bit of a hard time. I think they could use the extra sustenance.
Quite right. Will do. Well, you're welcome to your bath. I'll bring the food and drinks around shortly.
All right. What do you need for payment?
Oh, well, for the lot, will that all be together?
Yeah.
For the 3 baths, the 2 rooms, and food and ale, that will come to 3 gold pieces for the lot of you.
Go ahead and put the 3 gold down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Tristan makes a mental note to go back to that village and beat the living shit out of the innkeeper.
All right. So what would you like to do now?
Go take a bath.
Go take a bath? All right. So you make it over, and it looks like the the 2 doors divulge 2 individual rooms with a relatively large bath stern, about big enough for 3 individuals at a time. And it looks like it's already piping hot with a steam emanating from beneath the doorway.
Oh, Muse, you call to me.
Anthar realizing.
Tristan's gonna go on in.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthar realizing he doesn't have much blood on his clothes. He's like, yeah, it's probably about time. Walks right in.
All right. So you clean up easy enough, and shortly behind you comes the Cobalt with a tray of food, in particular the hearty stew, blackened blood bread, and ales to match. Here's your food, gentlemen.
No, thank you very kindly.
Well, if there's anything more, there's the bell over there. Go ahead and ring that.
Well, thank you very much.
And do you like to do anything else?
I'm just gonna tuck in and clean off.
Yeah. A cheers is in order. Great combat.
I'll go ahead and clack my ale with Anthars and be like, so you and Shalelu, what's going on there?
Nothing at the moment.
At the moment. Then why in the name of Iomade are you dragging your feet so much, man?
What do you mean?
Why are you dragging your feet? Why are you standing still? If you want the woman, go get her. I mean, it's fairly simple, isn't it?
I have other objectives ahead of her.
Tristan takes a moment to think about like, fuck, dude, it's so easy for you right now. Why are you starting? Then thinks he's a little bit, and there's a little bit younger than he is, so he's like, okay, he grew up in the mountains. He might not know.
Middle of in a cave.
Yeah, he's like, okay, maybe he doesn't understand emotions. And these other objectives being
Tristan, there's one thing you do have to understand about elves. We live a
really
very long time.
time.
we can take the game a little slower than others.
I don't think she's as young as you are, Anthar, so maybe the game is just starting for you. She might be, already running with the ball.
She's definitely not in her triple digits yet. That's for sure.
Then just kind of chucks on his ale a bit, like, okay. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. But anyway, I mean, again, what are you questing for that you can't have her, waiting for you?
Anthar thinks whether or not to answer this promptly. And
we're in the bathhouse, dude. It's not like I'm gonna shank you if you ain't lie to me.
Yeah, right. Anthar's gonna ambiguously just say,
No, I don't know. That's why I asked.
Anthar's gonna continue just like pretending that Tristan understands. Yeah, you got it.
No, I really don't.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Anthar, don't make me clip your ears. I'll do it.
Man, I haven't bathed in a while. This sure is nice. Woo! He's
Tristan's just gonna take a long pull of his ale and just be like, "It's gonna be a long night." Like, oh shit, one of those, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anthar's he's gonna spill the beans to Tristan. He's gonna speak in Elven for this.
All right.
And he's gonna say, my mother's been captive this whole time, and I've been trying to catch her, and I really need pretty much a whole army to get her back.
Tristan's going to respond in Elvish. Captured by who?
It's this. I'm suspecting it's my one of my best friends caused a rift between us by attacking our village.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna, yeah. I'm not certain, but I have a feeling he is the root cause to why my people have been slaughtered and eliminated.
So you and Kaj have both been victims of losing your people.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Kaj definitely mentioned that too.
Is that what brought you two together in the first place, or?
I honestly need trusted allies, and having been betrayed by one of my closest friends, it's hard to gain that trust back. So I've been very careful to pick the people who I do trust carefully.
Understandable. It's a smart way to go about things. Yeah, I understand. Do you have any idea where she would be or where she's, they took her?
If you're familiar with the blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I thought I was going to think for a second. Shoot, where is this? Oh shoot, I can't find this right now. Oh wait, hold on. I know where it's at. Here it is.
Mhm.
If you're familiar with Calistria, it's the army of Calistria, which I don't think you've ever heard of, but
Am I
yeah,
familiar with the army of Calistria?
there's no way. Super far away.
Technically speaking, so is Tristan. What, DM, what do you think?
Yeah, it's. I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gotten off that one anyway. I can't say that I have.
But between you and me, you're pretty much the only one that knows this. So the confidentiality would be much
Keep it to
appreciated.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just don't go saying anything to Raptor, otherwise you'll figure out everything about anyone.
Yes.
No, there's it's admirable to try and track her down, and we'll do the best we can to try and get her back. I can promise you that. I think we're definitely getting pulled in by forces greater than our own wills and desires at the moment, but I mean, if we're willing to go after Ujaman's brother here, then I think we're more than willing to go retreat. If we're going out to kill a family member, I think bringing one back alive is just as worthy an endeavor.
Yeah. We'll see if she's even alive. I don't even know.
You can't lose faith.
Yeah. But yeah. Just moving along each day, trying to figure it out.
Understandable. But that does, I mean, explains a little, but doesn't explain a ton. I mean, sure, I mean, I understand you trying to find your mother, and I absolutely commend you for it, but why would that stop you from having something with Shalelu with them at the same time?
Yeah, I'm still young. Like, you don't want to, cast the first stone quite too early in especially coming from an elven background. You don't want that reputation overriding your character for hundreds of years to come.
Well, not to be a little grim or make a dark joke, but exactly who is left to accuse you of casting the first stone too soon? That's like me worrying about my reputation back home. There's not really anyone around to needle you over it.
Well, elves kind of find a way. They hear stuff.
Kristen ignores the big ear joke. Out of respect for Anthar opening up emotionally, Kristen's gonna leave the ear joke on the ground.
Nice.
Because okay, I'm gonna let that one just.
I suppose we should kind of focus our questions towards Shalelu, anyways.
It is a little suspicious that she arrived at the time she did, isn't it?
Yeah,
A little.
I certainly think so.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you like her and all, but it's a little suspicious, and she hasn't been doing much. And now we find out that there's something with the mayor of Magnamar in this letter. I mean,
yeah, I really hope we don't have to travel back there anytime soon, since it is almost 10 days travel already.
let's definitely focus forward. I mean, we get to we get to Turtleback Ferry, we do what we got to do, and we go home from there. And from there, we'll figure out our next move.
Although I suppose the faster we can find out what's happening in Turtleback, the faster we get paid by Magnamar.
That's true.
A hefty amount.
Well, if you need that army, we're going to need gold. If there's anything I learned from over a decade of military experience, it's you can't exactly, swords don't come cheap.
Yeah, and I definitely am not the best at swords.
Going to need a few of them, yes. Those two peasants we picked up, though. What's your make of them?
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're turtles, so Turtleback Ferry.
Well, no, I mean they seem sturdy enough, but at the same time, they're common folk. There's
And they just realized what Tristan was talking about. If they want to travel along with us, that's, I guess, the more hands, the better.
I suppose. I empathize with them and their home being burned, but there's
really no place for them, though.
No, there isn't. But
although Raptor, if he sees them die, is going to have a heart attack.
Sometimes I think that little lizard is the bravest and noblest of us all. But at the same time, that same nobility and bravery makes me want to gut him and turn him into a belt. Honestly, his entire income towards that. Tristan kind of looks over the wall like, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't talk about the widow right now.
He's righting a few wrongs, though.
I mean, he's trying. That's, I think, more than can be said for a lot of people. But now we'll figure out once they get back to health. I mean, if it's a situation of giving them a little bit of gold to get back on their feet, maybe. But I don't know. This life isn't for everyone, and there's plenty of star-eyed farmers who seek their fortune adventuring. But I mean, the graveyards are full of middling adventurers. It's almost better to be no adventurer than a middling adventurer.
As the two of you talk, you kind of hear a knock at the door, and on the other side, it's Shillelagh's voice. Well, I'm all done here. I'm gonna head off to bed. I'll see you guys later, shall I?
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Tristan just kind of slowly sinks into the water at Anthar. Just
immediately after Anthar says goodnight, it's just like, oh.
You really have no game, do you? Have you talked to a girl, Anthar?
Yes, the last one punched me in the nose.
I can understand why.
And I wasn't even trying.
I can understand less now, but still. Oh my god, we have to work on your game, my man.
Certainly surprised Raptor, that's for sure.
Clearly. Oh my goodness. All right. So considering she's going up to bed and might be in bed soon, do you want to go through her stuff? Figure out what the hell she's here.
Oh, Tristan.
What? You can't tell me that you weren't that I was the only one thinking it.
Okay, all right. Here's the plan, though. I'll talk to her. You go sneak in.
Wait, you want me? Tristan kind of gestures to himself. Me to sneak into someplace.
You're right. You're not that nimble, are you?
I would say that I'm a little more obvious than your dexterous fingers are. And you can barely string 2 words together around the girl. So
True.
maybe we I mean, again, worst comes to worst, I can always just try to get her to punch me in the face.
Yeah. You have a knack for that.
A little bit.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, listen, there's some women you need to woo, and there's some women you just antagonize. I don't know why, but Shalelu's just one of the ones I'm antagonizing.
Anthar jumps out of the water.
Oh boy.
Loud and proud, stepping over Tristan's armor. Grabs the towel and gets dressed.
He's gonna go up slowly, taking his time, and just dry off and get dressed and pick up his armor. Like, all right, I will see what I can do to distract her.
Okay, I'll see if I can slip through the window or something.
Dear Lord.
All right, so Tristan, you find yourself in the hallway in front of the door to Shalelu's room.
I'm assuming Tristan's already like put his armor and shit like back in their room, and the other dude on the mule is just passed out in a bed somewhere.
Sure.
He's gonna just go up to the hallway and go, "Oh, you better fucking pull through."
A moment passes, and Shalelu opens the door, wearing her nightgown.
We need to have a conversation, Shalelu.
Well, what is it?
We need to have a conversation about what you're doing here and what you and what you're not telling us. Tristan is looking like anywhere but at her, which is kind of hard to tell considering he has no pupils, but just like
Tristan, you seem uncomfortable.
Oh, that's a word. That is most certainly a word.
And this seems quite sudden, your inquiry. May I ask what brought this on?
Shalelu, in the short time that you've known me, have I ever done anything that's not a little short notice or impulsive?
That's fair.
Tristan's both like, yes, pulled it off, but also like, fuck, I totally outed myself. Yeah, again, just come on. I mean, obviously, like, Tristan just like kind of pulls off his own cloak and hands it to her, like, go ahead and do your thing, because obviously I don't think you want to walk down there and that nightgown and all.
If you give me a moment, I'll get dressed and we'll talk about this downstairs, shall we?
Sure. Very well. Very well. Very well.
Roll a diplomacy check or a deception check.
Almost got away with it. Wait, a diplomacy check and a perception check?
Deception.
Oh, okay. I mean, to a degree, he does want to figure out why the fuck she's here.
Yeah, but you're acting very suspicious at the moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the diplomacy check. I rolled a 19, so that's a 30. And the deception check is a 27.
$27.
27 on the deception, 30 on the diplomacy.
All right. She closes the door. About a minute later, she comes back out with wearing pants and tunic and boots, and follows you downstairs.
Tristan's just gonna be like, "I'm all right. I hope you fucking know what you're doing," and we'll walk down to follow her.
All right. We'll go ahead and hop over to Anthar for a moment. Anthar, what are you doing?
I suppose I was just in the other room, pretending to get ready for bed,
Mhm.
waiting for the footsteps to go across the door.
All right. And it sounds like they are no more footsteps in the hallway, at least.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna crack the door open, see if anyone's in the hallway.
Doesn't look like there's anyone in the hallway.
All right. I'll go over to Shalelu's room and see if it's unlocked.
It is locked.
Is it?
Yeah.
Darn. Okay.
Looks like it's a pretty common lock, though.
Okay. I do have tools for that. I'll try to pick it open as long as no one is, traveling down the hallways.
Doesn't look like there's anyone at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna do a quick
Thievery
roll
check.
thievery check, yeah. That is a 30.
All right. You ooh, since we're using that rule,
Aw.
you are kind of picking the lock and you go and it sounds like you got 2 of the latches on the first try, and the door unlocks.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
All right. It's going in. It's a pretty simple room with a simple bed, a locking chest, and a single candle on the nightstand.
I'm gonna go through the chest.
All right. Looks like the chest is also locked.
Excellent. I'll close the door behind me.
Okay.
Lights or candles, I'm not gonna light or anything. But
You don't have to. You have dark vision.
that's right. So I'll try to open that chest the same way.
All right. Go ahead and roll a thievery check. It looks like this is a little tougher of a lock.
Thievery, that's a 31. Holy cow.
All right. You go to unlock and you go, looks like you got 2 of the pins. Feels like there's at least 1 more.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll another thievery check.
That's a 28.
All right. With that, it looks like you successfully unlocked the footlocker, and inside is her adventuring pack. And on top of it, her weapons are ready to grab in a moment's notice. Looks like she has a composite bow, short sword, few arrows, and then everything else looks like it's inside her pack. Oh, you also find some winter clothing and a cloak.
Nice.
Looks like everything else is in her pack.
Keeping in mind of like the placement of where everything was, I'm going to grab the pack, or just kind of or open it, I suppose.
Roll a no, we'll have you roll that later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna carefully open the pack up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Inside, you find kind of a host of various adventuring gear, rations, rope, water skin, climbing kits, blanket, something just about some couple of potions. Actually, no, go ahead and roll a perception check. Let's see if you actually see some of this stuff.
Okie dokie. That is a 30. Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah, you see all that stuff. Couple of minor magic items and a diary.
Oh no.
How depraved are you gonna get with this dude? We're already sneaking in and basically looking through all our shit.
Yeah, Anthar regretfully opens the diary.
Anthar's thinking like Tristan right now, and I'm here for it. Except he's doing it a lot better than Tristan probably would have been able to do.
All right. It looks like it's all written in Elvish.
Beautiful handwriting.
It is very, very nice handwriting. Let's see. Looking at the last few days' entries. Looking at the last few days' entries, kind of beginning with when she first joined your party. She makes a note that she feels as though she's become at least somewhat accepted into the group, and thankful for that. And you kind of get an era of some sort, like a bit of a guilt that she wants to reveal everything, but feels like she can't quite bring herself to kind of spill out her heart to the rest of the group. Continuing forward, you find an entry that talks about how the party might be able to help her to resolve the unfinished business in Turtleback Ferry. In particular, speaking with Captain Jackerdros, one of the Black Arrow Rangers stationed at Fort Rannoch. It kind of goes on a bit of a rant about him, in particular how you kind of accuses Jackerdros of using her mother and just being a lover to her mother, and then out of the blue deserting her mother, and leaving, and kind of how that left her mother kind of in a saddened state. Let's see, what else? Following that, you find an entry that articulates that Shayless, her mother, was killed in a dragon attack after Jackerdros had left. Kind of a tragic attack, and it seems as though she blames Jackerdros for not being there, and B, leaving altogether, and she wants to know why Jackerdros left.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about and then a whole bunch of like stuff that doesn't amount to it's about like the various like day-to-day stuff, but that's about all that you find. That'll take you some time to read through. That probably takes you about 10 minutes to read through all that.
Excellent. I'm gonna take a huge deep breath, close it, put it back where I found it in the pack, flip the pack closed. I don't know if I did take out the pack. I'll put it back exactly where I found it.
Go ahead and roll a thievery check to see how well you place everything back in its original spot.
Oh boy. That's a 25.
25. Okay. All right. And once you place everything back, what would you like to do?
What else was there? Looking around.
Looks like inside the chest or in the room?
I just outside it, I suppose.
Just mostly adventuring gear, her weapons, things like that.
Yeah, after taking a look closer to the room, I'm just gonna, assuming there's a lock on the chest, I'm gonna just latch it locked, walk to the door, kind of see if there's anyone in the hallway again.
Doesn't look like there is.
Okay, he's just gonna act normal and just be like, pretend like it's his room.
Okay.
And lock the door and close it and head back to his room and get some shut-eye.
All right. Meanwhile, Tristan, you are now downstairs with Shalelu. And she orders a round of drinks for both you and her. Well, now, Tristan, now that you've gotten me up from my rest, what is it that couldn't wait till morning?
Look, Shalelu, I want to trust you because the rest of the band does, and clearly Anthos mad for you, but you learn a few things coming from where I'm from and seeing what I've seen, and it's not sitting right. Why? For as long as we've been in Sandpoint, for the love of the gods, woman, we literally attacked a goblin stronghold and we didn't get a peep out of you. And I'm not saying that to put you down or demean you in any way, but you must acknowledge that it is extremely suspicious that as soon as we head out into the relative unknown, I might add, you're suddenly attaching yourselves to us. Maybe the others are more inclined to trust you because they've known you longer than I have, but you don't live as long as I do doing what I've done without being a little paranoid around some people, and I know that there's something you're not telling me. So I'm giving you the opportunity now. Spill it, tell me what's going on. Maybe we can help you, maybe we can protect you, maybe we can do what you need to do. I cannot protect you if I do not know what I am fighting against, and I will not risk the life of the rest of my mates for someone who is hiding the truth from me.
Well, let me begin by saying...
Tristan takes a very long pull of his ale because he said a lot of shit really fast.
Let me begin by saying I have spent the better part of my life protecting Sandpoint long before you and your friends ever came to Sandpoint from the goblins. It was only until the coalition that additional help was needed. And while you and the Sandpoint Six, as you're now often referred to, were dealing with Thistletop, I was managing the other 6 clans in the hinterlands. So let's begin there. Following the truce with the goblins, I wanted to make sure that the rest of the goblin clans would adhere to the truce. So I stayed in Sandpoint, making sure that the peace would hold. The peace granted, you and your party brokered. But one that was uneasy, one that you left. As far as this trip to Turtleback Ferry is concerned, I had heard reports about a party of similar description to yours in Magnamar. And a friend within the Magnamarian government let me know about the trouble that the Turtleback Ferry may be in. And I thought it's appropriate that I accompany you on your journey. It's been some time since I've been to Turtleback, and frankly, now that the peace appears to be holding, I felt my skills were no longer needed in the Sandpoint hinterlands. And it allowed me time to expand on my journeys and travel to places of Horacia I might otherwise be unable to.
You're an elf. It's not exactly like you're short on time, darling.
Please don't call me darling.
Accidentally spilled some beer down my beard. Tristan kind of just goes, all right.
So, it was my opinion that since we were traveling to the same place anyway, that we may as well share the road. Does that suffice?
Right. A lot of that adds up. But nobody travels to Turtleback Ferry on a whim, and certainly not at the advice of some friend in the government, who I'm assuming you're not going to disclose to the rest of us.
Well, unlike some people, I have friends in many places that keep me informed of
Here's
the
something I found on the web. According to Tumblr.
fucking Alexa. Well, I, in my travels, have garnered many a friend, high and low, that, well, they tell me of various goings on, and I've, until recently, have been unable to expand much outside of Sandpoint, but again, since the peace, at least for the moment, seems to be holding, it opens up my avenues for travel.
It is a very fancy way and a very elaborate way of saying exactly nothing at all. Look, I might be a knuckle-dragging swordsman, but even I know enough political intrigue to know when you're talking around the subject.
Go and roll a diplomacy check to see if you're getting, if you actually find it to be suspicious.
That's a crit fail.
All right.
One.
All right. So you're kind of listening to this and hearing Shalelu speak, and you're like, yep, it all makes sense. I have no further questions.
And I really hope he got out of there. But Tristan's like, I have nothing left to say. She's got me in a fucking corner here. And I really hope you're not in there just looking at her knickers right now, because that is bad news bears. Fuck.
Well, if there's nothing else, shall we retire and continue on our journey in the morning?
I suppose you're free to go.
She scoffs at that comment and returns to her room.
One last thing, darling.
Oh my god.
Now she seems slightly irritated.
Keep toying with that boy. You get him hurt. You get him killed.
Nice.
I'll put you down.
But yeah.
Turn back to my drink.
She returns to the table and kind of puts her hands down on the table. Anthar is a wonderful lad, I'm sure.
Ooh, touched a nerve, did I?
But he's a bit young for me.
It's true.
It's inexperienced.
Tristan is like keeping the rim of his glass over this to stop himself from the like the reactions, like trying to keep a very cool glaze, but just under the lip of the mug going, oh my boy.
But despite that, even I recognize his potential. In that last fight, while you were slinging arrows to and fro, he was launching arrows into the enemy, doing 10 times the damage that you were capable of.
Do I
And
look like an archer? I wear plate armor and I carry a sword, woman. I'm clearly out of my elements in that last fight.
clearly. And she turns and walks back.
Tristan orders another drink because now he's in a piss poor mood.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I thought we were gonna have a conversation about your girlfriend's shitty attitude. I can't believe I just got fucking kowtowed.
That's so funny.
Tristan acknowledges that he's put in his place, but he's not happy about it.
All right. So after you have a couple more drinks, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. And Anthar, you're back to bed too?
Yep.
Wait, did he go into the room first or did I go into the room first?
I think he probably did.
All right, I'm gonna just walk into the room and kind of cast my eye over at Anthar like, you do it?
And Anthar's just gonna nod. Really wide-eyed.
Do you want to talk about this later?
Is she gone?
Oh, she's in her room now. We're in our room.
Good. Okay. Yeah,
Good, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's no. I pissed her off.
what did you do? Just
I think it's. I mean, do you want the order? Do you want it numerically? Do you want it alphabetically?
oh my gosh.
No, I couldn't figure out if she was hiding anything conventionally, so I really hope you found out something on the other end, because if you didn't, well, I'm gonna need to make you to make sure that she doesn't put an arrow on my back.
And as you're saying this, you hear a knock at the door.
Oh, fuck me. Yes?
May I come in?
No.
Tristan, come on. That's not
No.
right.
No.
What is it, Shalelu? And they'll like crack open the door like halfway.
Tristan gives him a very rude sign and then goes to go find his sword. He's just like over the edge of his bed, like, where's my fucking sword? Where's my sword? Where's my sword? Where's the sword?
You know, Anthar, the funniest thing happened.
Oh my god.
I went down to discuss a few things with your friend Tristan. We had a beer. And when I returned, it seemed a few things were out of place. Don't suppose you know anything about that.
Were you robbed?
Everything is still present, but not in the same manner as I left it. I don't suppose you know anything about that, Anthar.
Anthar's gonna raise concern and be like, should we go do something? Like, I'm sure the inn may have seen some suspicious activity.
Roll deception.
Oh, God.
Come on, dude.
Oh, it was going so well.
God damn it. Don't tell me you're stumbling at the finish line.
No, let's see. You said deception?
Deception.
Okay, 27.
Anthar,
Oh god.
do I look like a fool to you?
Tristan opens his mouth, but then decides to just close it.
Not at all. Why?
Maybe you can explain this to me, because apparently to you, I look like a fool.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why
wish
is
I-
it?
I wish I
why-
could understand.
Why is it that your friend knocked on the door, rose me from my bed? We went to talk downstairs, and then upon my return, everything in my trunk was out of place. Not stolen, mind you. Certainly there's plenty of things there to be stolen, just not in the same place that I left it. And
Tristan eavesdropping on this is like in the back of his head, like, fuck, I should have had Anthar like take something and shut the window.
perhaps you can explain this to me, Anthar, and try not to lie to me.
Tristan's gonna kind of like lean over and be all like, look,
I'm not speaking with you, Tristan.
yeah, he clearly can't get his jaw off the floor when he's normally around you. Do you really think he has the audacity to try and break into your room? I mean, come on.
I pose the question as like, what would I need to do in your room? This sounds ridiculous.
Tristan kind of like slinks down behind the edge of his bed, like, I'm gonna stay out of throwing range now.
Anthar's eyes are like kind of like really like sleepy eyed, and he's like, I really just want to go to bed. Is this really a big issue for you?
It is, Anthar.
Well, I wish I could give you the answer, but I don't know what's going on.
Is that truly your answer?
Oh boy.
Shalelu, it's so late right now. I can barely even think.
He's gonna cast like Zone of Truth or some shit in a minute. Wait for it.
It's so late right now. Is this really a big deal to you? We can discuss it tomorrow morning, but I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
I expected better, Anthar.
Okay.
And she walks away.
All right. Anthar's just gonna be like, okay.
Tristan's gonna pop up, be like, is she gone?
Looks like she's gone.
You're safe, Tristan.
Is she gone? Okay, because like I've been to war. She scares me. I fought a lot of things, but she scares me.
Yeah.
So now that we're both on her shit list, what exactly happened, or what did you find out?
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible to pass you on that list, but I certainly think I did.
Oh no! I guarantee you, I'm still above you. Yeah, Tristan briefly recounts exactly what happened down in the pub and is like, listen, I guarantee you, if she's going to kill someone first, it's probably going to be me. I think you're fine. You'll have enough time to run.
Anthar pulls. Oh well, shoot, can't do that. Anthar pulls Tristan aside to like the farthest corner from Shalelu's room, and like,
we need to go somewhere else for this conversation.
I should be fine if we keep. Well, yeah, probably actually. Let's go get a drink.
After that encounter, I'll pay. Tristan like grabs him by the elbow. It's like, come on. I think we both need something strong after that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go downstairs and relay like very quietly, obviously. Still regarding Shalelu's feelings and stuff with having to read through the diary. I relay everything that I ended up discovering and doing.
Wait, so she was hiding something from us?
Well, yes. Yeah.
Then
But I mean, it's a family tie, I suppose.
Tristan is currently like giving death glares up the stairs to where her room is. Like,
What? Why?
if I wasn't sure that she had booby trapped the door, I'd go up there and I'd kick it down and I'd drag her out by her pretty hair.
What? Why?
Because I took her down here and I gave her the opportunity to come clean. And I told her if she came clean, nothing wrong would be going on. But she chose to lie to me anyway. And
Oh, so she saw this coming anyways. I mean, the repercussions were already made.
more or less, I don't think she would be surprised if, you know, I tried to give her a forum to figure it out, but knowing that you would probably find something out anyway, and either I look like a horse's ass and you don't, something I can live with. But now knowing that my suspicions were correct, I mean, there's only so much something that someone's going to put down on paper. So this discovery with this member of the Black Arrows and her mother, there's something else that's not fitting into place here. And there's a component she's not telling us. For whatever reason that is, whether it's familiar privacy or romantic entanglements or just, any reason, she's keeping it from us. And that's a sword of Damocles we can't sleep under.
Yeah. Yeah.
We might have to sleep on this and figure it out in the morning, and give her a minute or two to cool off.
Yes.
I think we'll rest up here for a while until the prisoners are recovered. I'll try to make myself scarce during the day. See if you can smooth over your relationship there. I think mine's more or less fractured. So.
Oh boy.
Pro tip: don't call her darling. She doesn't.
Oh. If they're just kind of shrugging it off.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe a tip. Like, just don't avoid that one. It's completely over Tristan's head as to why she doesn't like that one. He can't understand for the life of him. He's like, I don't know why.
All right. Well, I think with that, while Tristan and Anthar go to bed, we'll take a quick break and return in a moment.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. All right, and we're back where we left off. The party has just now roused themselves from a long night's sleep, recovering from the days prior's encounter with the Hobgoblin band. Waking up, it seems that the rains have continued through the night, and you can smell like the crisp smell of bacon cooking at the floor below you.
Tristan's gonna strap on his armor and pick up the half plate that he brought along with him, and just kind of look at Anthar like, "See you in a bit. I'm gonna go get breakfast to go and go take care of a few things. Good luck with." And then he's gonna leave.
Dang it. Anthar's just gonna head on down and await his in the most nervous stance possible.
Okay. What do you do in the meantime?
Tristan grabs breakfast and is like, "I'm out."
Yeah, I'm just gonna just be eating breakfast, like always staring at the stairs or whatever.
Poor Anthar.
Okay. About an hour passes, and you finish your breakfast in your breakfast ale. And a few people come on down and enjoy their breakfast, some of the other patrons, but no Shalelu.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
Somehow that's worse.
Yeah, that is worse. I'm going to go... I suppose I'm going to go outside and see if her horse is... I'm going to go see if her horse is in the outside.
She ditched us in the middle of the night. That's cold.
Checking the stalls out back, it seems that her horse is gone.
Oh, shoot. Nice.
I mean, I get it, but still.
Anthar, realizing he's been almost stood up in a way, is very distraught and kind of worried for her safety, for assuming that she's traveling to Turtleback Ferry alone through the Ashwood by herself is making him very nervous. Even more nervous than having the conversation with her in the morning.
God, everybody watching this without context is going to be all like, "Wait, did they? Is it that morning after? Is it that after conversation? Did Amber not stay the night?"
Yeah, I can go find Tristan then.
Tristan is at the blacksmith, basically just like, can you just wait, is there a blacksmith in this town?
There is.
Okay, he's going to the blacksmith and is just kind of like, I have this armor, I just need it kind of, brought up to back up to former glory and fighting fit again. Is that something you can do here?
Well, it's not something that I typically take on. Mostly work on horseshoes and tools and the like around here, but I certainly could take a crack at it.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and hand it over.
Take about a day or so to make it sizable again and usable. See what I can do about polishing it up as well.
All right, fair enough.
That altogether, that'll cost you about 7 gold pieces to get that ship shape.
Okay, I hand it over.
Right, well, come back tomorrow.
Very well.
All right, so after speaking with Blacksmith, what would you like to do, Tristan?
I'm assuming Anthar's like I see Anthar kind of running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and I'm like, you all right? Something.
She ran off, man.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Tristan
took off.
proceeds to just, for 2 minutes straight, just cuss. Just every single like curse and filthy word he can think of in Elvish, in Common, and Draconic, he just lets loose. And then after he's done like that, he goes, "Let's get the horses and go find her."
All right.
I know, it was impressive. Let's go.
Anthar never even heard hearing these words before. Just knows the gravity of everything Tristan just said.
All right. All right. So fetch the horses. Are you leaving the blacksmith to his thing?
I'll leave the blacksmith to his thing if
Right.
he doesn't go it up to. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to come back in a day anyway. So
All right. What would you like to do then? You say you have your horses.
Anthar, can you like track her down, or do we need to actually investigate things here?
I could track her down, I believe, if I really focused.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Okie doke. Okay. That's a nat 20 or 34.
All right.
Nice.
So where would you like to start your track?
Just outside of the I guess right where her horse would have been from the inn.
Okay. So from there, you find that there's quite a few tracks, although they are pretty well waterlogged. It seems that it rained through the night. And while you can seem to be able to successfully track so kind of following some of the fresh path, you kind of make it about halfway through town, and it seems that between the heavy rain and kind of the overlap track of the morning's rush, you're having a pretty difficult time finding the trail again, despite having a really good start. You continue following the track north of town, but it seems that the heavy rains of the night have just washed the road clean.
Okay. I'm going to head to the northernmost part of the town where there's less traffic and it's all kind of muddled, and really see if there's single tracks heading out of town, assuming that's the direction she went.
So it looks like there at some point was probably tracks heading north or south. It's really difficult to determine. It was a pretty heavy rainfall that's even now continuing to rain on you. And it's just, as soon as you find one good track, you have to go another 20 bases to find another good track. And it is just it seems that it's largely just washed the entire road clean. Despite having a really good start. The rain is not having it.
Tristan's going to, I'm assuming Anthar's like tracking. Tristan's going to stop some passerbys and inquire as to whether they saw which direction Shalelu was probably stomping off in.
Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check.
I got a nat 20 as well.
Okay. Speaking
Plus 11 for 31.
Speaking to a half dozen people in town,
Mhm.
you don't find any leads until you've come to your seventh or eighth person, who is a kind of an older gentleman that proceeds to tell you his life story, including how he gets up before any of these young whippersnappers, best fishing's way early in the morning with the wee hours of the morning. And after quite a bit of time just going on and drooling on and on and on, he finally tells you that yes, he did see an elvish woman heading north in the right as he was getting ready for his kind of almost midnight fish.
And which direction did she go? Tristan slowly unclenches the dagger behind his back and brings his hands together in a folded thing. Like, and which way did she go?
Well, she head north.
North?
North.
At speed?
Yes, as fast as our horse could take her.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Tristan walks away, contemplating murder, and catches back up with Anthar and is all like, "She rode north." She went.
Yeah. So she's definitely going to Turtleback.
Yep, we might want to hasten there with all speed.
Okay. Without question, Anthar just starts going.
Tristan will follow after because he wants to put as much distance between him and that fucking old fisherman as humanly possible.
All right. So you still have your two followers behind you on Donkey.
Oh no, they are hanging out at the tavern and they are recovering.
Okay, they're staying at the tavern.
Yeah, they are recovering for a while. Like Tristan again. I guess I'll metagame this a little bit. Yeah, they're on bed rest until they can recover from the shit they went through.
All right. It'll cost about a silver piece a day for both of them to stay and tend to the horses and feed and reclothe themselves and such.
Tristan will throw a gold piece down.
Okay. It's good for about 10 days. Done.
Yeah. Tristan will throw a gold piece down and then we'll call it good.
All right. So you grab your horses and start riding north. So we'll go back to our travel mechanic. Since you only have two people here, there's the 4 roles you can utilize: the scout, the navigator, the guard, and the utility. What would you like to? And you can only do 2 since there's only 2 of you. What would you like to utilize?
I mean, we're really only going to need a scout and a navigator. If something happens, we're going to have to defend ourselves either way.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I think that would work.
All right. Do you want to scout or do you want to navigate? I can do it.
I'll go ahead and scout. That ended up working for me last time.
All right. Let's do it.
We'll start with scout. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
That's a 30.
All right. Riding a little bit faster than Utramir with his full garb of heavy armor. You're much more nimble horse, rides a little bit quicker, and you ride up ahead a couple of miles. And it seems that with every passing hour, the river to your left almost seems to swell and grow with the continued rains. You return to Tristan, telling him that, or you see rather, Ashwood largely taking up the right side of the road, and the road itself twisting and turning, winding alongside the Skull River. But nothing else much to report on.
Okay.
Tristan, go ahead and roll a survival check.
25.
All right. You lead your somewhat sleepy compatriots behind you forward and keep to the road. There are a couple of points where the road kind of turns into a mushy mud pit with a couple of forks in the road to some wood roads.
Mhm.
But after thinking on it a moment, you decide to keep to the what appears to be the main road that goes up the alongside the Skull River. And that is about that'll take and about a day goes by. So at about this time, it's nearing nightfall, and it seems that you are nowhere closer, or nowhere perceivably closer to Shalelu.
Oh, great. Tristan is just kind of slowly like questioning every single decision that led him to this point in his life where he's like, I am chasing after a woman who would probably put a knife in my guts. But I need to say, I told you so. So Tristan just keeps on with the go on then.
Yep. Yeah. Seeing Tristan unfatigued, Anthar is gonna push through.
You're gonna push through the night.
I'm thinking I want to. What do you think, Tristan? I mean, we can't really get lost. There's a river to our left.
No, we might want to camp for the night because
All right.
whatever this woman gets herself into and whatever we find ourselves facing, because we are inevitably going to face something because God hates us. We might as well be well rested when we do. So let's pitch camp for the night.
All right.
Yeah.
Panther's gonna start, huddling over the dry spot, trying to find some dry spots under the trees.
All right.
Of course.
You find no such dry spots. It seems that the rains are relentless, and this area in particular, nearing the river, is just a spongy, mushy mess.
Okay.
But go ahead and roll a survival check. We'll see. We'll see if you find that one little dry spot, the one dry spot in the entire forest. We'll see how you do.
No pressure or nothing.
What kind of trees are these?
They're pine trees.
Oh, this is easy. 30. What is that? 31.
31. All right. After looking around some bit, you find a half-fallen tree. It seems that a tree by natural causes has fallen, but was caught by another tree, making a perfect kind of dry spot underneath it. Though, roll perception.
Okay. I have to flip through these screens. Sorry. That is a 30.
Though it does seem that the trunk is pretty well secured, all but the nothing but the strongest of winds would dislodge it from its current resting place.
Okay. Kind of take a look at. Well, okay, yeah. The trees are fine. Like,
It seems that the tree fell over probably in the last few months, you
Oh,
would
okay.
say. So it seems pretty solid. It's not rotten or anything.
Cool. I'm gonna start grabbing as many like branches and setting it on the windward side of the stump, or not the stump, the log that's going parallel upwards against the other tree, laying on top of it,
Okay.
so we can have some better warmth and cover from the rain.
All right. It takes you about an hour to make your shelter. We can just use the same roll survival arrows before. And you make for a pretty cozy little spot, especially if you built the fire.
Oh yeah. Oh, fire's going right, pretty much right next to us.
Okay. Yeah, you build the fire, and you can kind of begin to feel your clothes dry out a little bit, near huddling yourself near the fire with some refuge from the rain.
Yeah, Anthar is just gonna like really just go to sleep and really just kind of keep to himself.
All right.
So are you resting first and I'm taking first watch?
Oh, Anthar doesn't even think about it. He just goes to sleep.
Tristan's gonna make his way over to where Anthar is, just kind of see that he's passed out, and just be like, "Yeah, okay." Hitch up the horse and be like, "All right, I'll yeah."
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check then.
28.
All right, you take your first watch and you don't seem to notice anything.
Seem to is the operative word, but okay.
With an unsuspecting smile at the end of that sentence.
That's why I don't fucking trust it. Tristan will go over and just kind of nudge Anthar awake, be like, "Look, I know you're going through it, but it's your turn to take watch."
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Tristan's gonna get under the dry spot.
Yeah, Anthar's gonna take watch now.
Presumably he's just like in this hooded cloak, just like, okay.
All right. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception is a 29.
All right. You too spend the length of your watch looking into the rainlit forest, and neither you don't see anything either.
Don't seem to see anything.
What?
I don't seem to see anything.
You don't seem to see anything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll wake Tristan up for his watch. And Anthar's gonna act like we've done this before and just take Tristan's spot.
Tristan's just gonna kind of go back to, like, all right, back at it.
All right. So we just gonna break the watches into halves. So you take half the night. So you were doing that for about half of the night. So the sun kind of or at least it becomes a little bit lighter from the darkness, and the rain continues.
Wow.
Well, that's first light. I suppose we should get going, yeah?
Yeah, let's get right at first light. Let's get going.
We ride.
And as you ride, you notice, go to roll a perception check. Both of you.
Okay.
29.
36.
Okay. With the, you have noticed, it seems that the level of the river has noticeably rose a little bit. And as you kind of ride through, you see a few rapids here and there. And then roll a, both of you roll a, roll a survival check.
Oh, nat 20, baby.
20? Nat 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
28.
Okay. So, Anthar, you notice that even for this time of year, this seems like an abnormal amount of rain. Usually in this region, it will rain for bursts throughout the day, even on the rainiest of days, but it seems really odd that the rains seem to be ceaseless. Almost seems unnatural.
Unnatural. You ever seen this much rain before?
Tristan's just like, no, is this unusual for this region?
Anthar has to like pretty much yell because the raindrops are so loud.
Is this normal for this region, Anthar? I mean, you would know better than I do. I grew up on an island in the middle of the sea.
It certainly seems like a whole lot.
Do you think that Shalelu has anything to do with this? I mean, she does. You guys don't exactly manipulate the weather to your mood, do you?
No, we only adapt to it.
Okay. What do you think would be causing this?
It's way past my knowledge.
Jesus.
We should be extra cautious around the water, though, or the river, because it seems to be getting higher and higher.
Tristan's gonna loosen his sword and his scabbard just a little bit in case it's a physical threat, and then just kind of seize up on the reins in case he needs to spur Longshanks into just going for it.
Nice.
All right. So then whoever wants to take on the scout roll, well, they're both survival checks. So whoever wants to take the scout roll can roll first.
You or me?
Either one. If you want to take it, that's cool.
No, I think you're a little more adapted to scouting. I just didn't know if you were getting bored of it or not. So.
Nope. A ranger will range.
Rangers doing ranger shit.
Yep. Survival, that's a 29.
All right. Scouting ahead, you have find no trace whatsoever of Shalelu's track. And you have now come to the conclusion that it seems that the rains have washed it away entirely. Though you can speculate she probably is keeping to the road.
Wow.
Do I need to navigate or?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival check for navigation.
27.
All right. You keep your compatriots in line and moving forward through the entire day.
Am I able to divine how close to Turtleback Ferry we are?
Well, since you guys are pushing your horses hard, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we're pushing them hard during the day and then we sleep hard at night, I assume.
Okay. So if you continue at this pace, they it looks like they might have one more day's worth of energy left in them before they need just a little bit of rest being pushed so hard. But you're within about, actually, actually, since you are pushing them so hard, you can see right as the sun is beginning to set on the edge of the horizon at the end of the road, Turtleback Ferry.
Do we want to just push on right in there, or do we want, take it in? Or
That's what we came for. Find some answers. Whether that be Shalelu or
do we
our
wanna head
original
into Turtleback
objective.
Ferry?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you make it into Turtleback Ferry right about the evening, within about an hour or so of sunset. It seems that most people, it seems that the streets are pretty vacant for the most part. Few people are sitting on porches outside the various buildings, though you do see, or you do hear some clambering from, in particular, what appears to be the tavern and inns, as well as lights emanating from windows and doors. Looks like most people in town have decided not to stand in the rain.
Wise choice. I think we better hit the inn, see if she's there, right?
Yeah, I suppose we should ask around. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we'll head into the inn and guess kind of slog our way.
All right, so you're heading into the inn. Oh,
Yep. You're
All
just
right.
slugging our way past.
All right, so as you make your way into the inn, you see a kind of a plump individual that is currently just taking a nap on an armchair near the fireplace. As you kind of step in, it looks like you kind of roused him from his slumber, and he kind of fixes himself a little bit.
Hello.
Oh, right, quite right. I suppose you'd be wanting a room for the night. Looks like it's quite a bit of rain out there. Be wanting a warm bed, I'd imagine.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, we can do that. Well, don't have much in the way of drink, but if you're looking for a place to kick up your feet, you can certainly take a look at Bottoms Up. I'll have those beds ready by the time you make it back.
Real quick, have you seen another elf? One with determined stature, in just very furious. She goes by the name Shalelu.
Well, didn't quite catch your name, but did see an elf earlier in the day. Wasn't here much more than a minute, asking about Captain Jackins.
Captain Jackins?
Jackardos. One of the Black Arrows up in the fort.
Oh,
Can you point
interesting.
us in that direction?
If you
Well,
don't mind.
certainly. Well, the fort's right up the road. And keep on following the signs. You'll find it near here. It's about 10 or so miles outside of town. Though I wouldn't advise going out there at night. So haven't heard much from the Black Arrows in a while. Not sure if the roads are safe, especially at night. Haven't heard about much people going up north at all, really, other than the most dedicated of trappers and hunters.
Oh boy. Tristan's gonna look to Anthar like, how much are you willing to bet that that's where she went?
Yeah. we're this close.
I'll leave it up to you, mate. I mean, do you wanna risk it, or
You got a little left more in you?
I can certainly try.
All right. Anthar is going to he's gonna start riding riding towards wherever this guy said.
I'll flip the dude a copper piece and peace out as well.
All right. Are you sure you'd be wanting to go there at night?
We don't have
Maybe
a
a bit-
choice, my belly friend.
All right. Well, good travels. All right, so you continue. Now it's about sunset. Do you continue on the road, heading north towards? Actually, what did I say? I said it was 10 miles. It's actually closer to about 25 miles outside of town.
On horseback. That's doable, right?
So that's going to take you. So you guys have already pushed your horses kind of to their limit.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, but your horses are going to be very, very winded. Normally, a horse can, at a normal pace, can go about 32 miles in a day. You push these horses to do a little over 40 miles in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still about another 20 miles to the fort.
And he said that she just made way not too long ago.
They said earlier in the day.
Hmm.
Didn't specify.
Seems common thought would just be to rest here for the night.
All right.
And get after it early morning.
Very well. We'll rest up the horses.
Yeah.
All right. Let's rest up then.
All right. Well, if you would like to put your feet up, you can certainly go to the Bottoms Up Tavern, or if you prefer, just going right to bed. That can be done as well.
Oh, right. Make a decision, Anthar. I've got your back either way.
We should probably sleep because we're gonna be getting up pretty early.
let's just go straight to sleep.
We got some rations we can eat off of.
I think we can probably rest up just fine.
Okay. All right. So you spend the night resting up. The morning comes, and it seems that the rains have continued.
Oh.
Jeez. I hate this place. I hate it. 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 I almost want to go back to Magnamar now because at least it had sun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Anthar's gonna inquire about this rain to the innkeeper.
Right. Well, it's certainly a particularly odd thing. We usually get rains and burst even this time of year, and it's been raining maybe a week straight almost.
Good lord.
It is a bit odd,
This is
but it happens every now and then.
You know that's not normal, right?
Well, it's a bit odd, but what are you going to do? It's the weather.
Fair enough.
okay.
That's fair. I mean, you can't really answer that one any other way. It's the weather. All right.
It does make me a bit worried, though.
How for what?
Ah, well, we have Skulls Crossing upriver, the dam up there. Sure, it's fine, but
Oh, Lord.
it does put a bit of a strain on the thing. It's supposed to release and make sure that everything's running ship, but I'm sure it's fine.
Is this pretty much holding the city dry at the moment?
Yeah, is that the only thing that's there?
Well, normally the Black Arrows, they have Fort Rannoch. They keep an eye on the place and make sure everything's running well, but haven't heard much about them in the last couple of weeks.
Seems that no one has.
Yeah, that's a little unusual.
Well, not much of an expert on the thing. If you really want to know more about that, you'd have to talk to the mayor.
Tristan kind of thinks like, how's our track record talking with mayors gone? I mean, really, if you think about it. In the grand scheme of Sandpoint 6 and local politics, where have we exactly landed on the mayoral side of things?
Oh.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Dar just shakes his head. It's like,
No, let's just stay on the path. Hey, we'll worry about that one later.
Okay. Yeah, we're not getting paid for that one quite yet.
No, we are not. I'm going to insist that we adopt a mercenary mentality in this regard, and just it's not our business.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I guess we're gonna head up to that fort. I mean, the horses have rested all night, so
Let's do it.
let's head up, see what the hell's happening with these Black Arrows. Badass name, but apparently they're really bad at their job.
Or there's none of them left.
Or there's none of them left. In which case, still really bad at their job. Because, I mean, it's not like the Sandpoint 6 lost anybody.
Tristan Anthar kindly reminds Tristan.
Not like the Sandpoint 6 lost anybody.
You remember
All right.
that big four-legged
God, no. I thought I would continue to live in denial. Do not deny me this.
Okay. All right, so you head on north and go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a whoever's scouting up ahead, a survival check. And then whoever it we'll start with scout.
I'll just continue scouting. I got a 30 on that one.
All right. Scouting on forward, you find north of Turtleback Ferry a bridge which crosses the Skull River and continues the road onward. Signs pointed towards Fort Rannoch, the road now being on the north side of the road. And you turn back about what you would estimate to be a couple miles forward, and you don't notice much of anything. You do notice that there's a wood on either side of the river, and that but beyond that, not much to note. Tristan, go ahead and roll a navigation check. That'd be survival.
24.
All right. You take the party on the road and continue onward north of Turtleback Ferry.
Okay.
Over the slightly rickety bridge, but still holding fast, and meet back up with Anthar. Together, you continue forward towards Fort Rannoch. You would estimate yourself to be... the road itself, as you cross the bridge and continue on the road itself seems to be angling upward in elevation, kind of up the slightly narrow-ish path, not too bad, but a tad bit more narrow, as it kind of sways back and forth along the mountainside. In front of you being a large mountain on the horizon.
Oh boy. Anthar, you're an mountain expert. What do you make of this?
I love this. This is great.
Yeah. Both of you roll a perception check.
Oh, good lord. We're gonna get sniped. I'm calling it. This is Brian. We're getting sniped off this road.
Man down.
That's a 20. No, that is a 32.
You got a 27.
As you make your way up the trail to the fort, you hear the sound emanating from the path ahead. It is a familiar sound, that of pounding horses at a gallop.
Shit.
Oh.
Tristan's gonna grab his horn and just blow it as loud as he can.
Okay. Anthar, are you doing anything?
I'm grabbing my bow.
Once
All
I'm
right.
done blowing that, I'm gonna draw my sword.
And who is actually, I'll answer that for you. Tristan is leading since he is navigating.
Ah, shit.
Since you guys have kind of come back together. A moment later, the sound grows louder and louder with every passing moment, until you see at the turn ahead a horse carrying 2 riders. They are frantically pushing the horse to its limit. Behind them, a band of orcs, hot on their trail. An arrow jettisons from one of the orcish riders and embeds itself in the flank of the fleeing horse. The horse and both riders fall forward. The horse tumbles off the edge of the cliff. You can hear the crack of bones and the whinnies of pain, ending in the breaking of the water below. One man falls from the mount, his head crashing into the stone on the trail side. He now lies limp and unconscious.
Oh, shit.
The other rider also falls, but manages to catch himself as he scrambles to his compatriot's side. And if you bring up roll 20.
Oh boy, here we go.
What you wanted, Tristan.
Finally, let's go. Let's go. I can finally swing my sword in anger.
Holy crap.
Oh boy, I'm already worried. We're on a narrow mountain path, right?
So the road itself is a little bit more narrow than what you've seen before, and the right side of the road kind of jettisons into a steep cliff. The left side, it's a bit rocky, but it's largely traversable.
Okay.
And you guys, your token sizes are 10 by 10s because you're currently on mounts.
Ah.
As are the orcish riders who are also on mounts. The other two, one of which seems to be unconscious, or at least on the ground,
Thanks.
are on foot.
Oh.
What would you like to do?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna look to Anthar like, well, you ready to do some killing?
Always.
Very well then. I'm gonna spur my horse forward and move to defend the two down riders.
All right.
Find my token here.
All right. Spurring for your horses.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Spurring your horses forward. You have now garnered the attention of the other riders. The one at front steps his mount forward. Begone with you. This isn't your business.
I mean, we're traversing the road. I think we deserve to know why you're chasing down two people with you in a full company.
He draws his sword. I'll give you one warning.
Tristan
Begone with you.
Is like, I've got one of those two motherfuckers. Start talking. Like Tristan's pointing his, like he's drawing his, and Tristan's pointing his. Like we'll do this, but I want to talk this out. Like Tristan will point his sword at him. Like, listen, this doesn't need to end in bloodshed. But what in the hell's is going on here?
As you're conversing, the one man on the ground calls out to them, "You can't reason with them. They took the forts."
What?
As he says this, the leader of the band of orcs calls out, "Bring me their heads."
Oh, I'm going to take yours, you bastard. I'm going to spur my horse forward and try to just rush him.
We're going to roll initiative.
Sweet.
That is a 31.
All right, so Anthar's got 31. Tristan, what do you have?
19 plus 35.
Tristan's got 35. Let's see how these guys do.
Yeah. Hopefully terribly.
I don't know, we'll see. Well, they don't do great. All right, so the orc riders, they don't do so great. Let's see how well the commander does. Bugger. Doesn't even worse.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's not great.
Oh, yeah, really not that great.
Yeah, he rolled the 1. So anyway, all right, so looks like Tristan, you're up first. And keep in mind, while you're mounted, you have a movement of 40 feet.
Right on. All right.
And because you are riding a warhorse, you don't need to spend an action to tell it where to go.
Yeet. Let's go.
Oh,
Anthar, because you're on a riding horse, you do have to tell it. You have to spend an action to tell it where to go, and then it'll go.
like slap its butt.
Yeah, I mean, kick it. Yeah, kick it or
Longshanks
reins and
is
such.
just as excited to get into the fighting as Tristan is.
also.
Are
Well,
they
we'll leave
riding
it at.
war horses?
Hmm?
Are they riding war horses?
Bro, you can spend an action to roll perception and see if you can identify them as war horses.
Nah, we'll find out when we charge them if they flinch or not, if they're war horses.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going for it. We're gonna charge right up the guts at their commander and just try and slash them good.
Well, go ahead and move first. So you have a 40-foot movement.
I'm all the way over here.
40 foot per action.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that would put me right about here. And then, yeah, I could probably close the distance and hit him.
Yeah, so you're. Yeah, so that'll take you about 2 actions to make it to him from where you were.
Fair enough. Let's use that last one to hit him with my sword.
And you got to be right there, but I got you.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
All right, that is all in all. It's our first time fighting orcs. Marshall, did they have evil alignment?
You'll have to hit him and find out.
Okay, 29 to hit. Thank God.
That'll hit.
Oh, thank God. I rolled a 10. I was like, and I was like, oh, wait.
And they are not evil aligned.
Fuck. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have my shield, but fortunately, I rolled a 12. And then that's a 6, so 18.
All right, slashing forward with your mount behind you. Do 18 points of damage and cleave off a good chunk from his pelvis region, or pectoruals. All right, Anthar.
Yeah.
And actually, I am gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna have these guys have an action first, but not before you, but after. Sorry. Go ahead. Do what you want to do. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's move forward as much as we can.
Actually, no, they're not going to do anything.
One action. 1, 2. So probably. Oh, I can't move this for some reason. Oh, there it goes. Somewhere like I think that's about 1.
Yeah, it's about 40 foot.
Okay.
So that'll take 1 action. Oh, you need to spend an action to tell it where to go, since it's a riding horse.
Oh, okay. All right. In that case, I'm just gonna step off, I suppose. Yeah. I'm gonna step off of the horse.
Get off the horse. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you spend an action to dismount.
Okay. And let's go ahead and let's go ahead and Mm-hmm. Let's. Jeez. I'm gonna designate the rightmost orc as my prey,
Okay.
and we'll
Oh,
do.
you know what? I'll go ahead and kind of do what I did before. Make these
Yeah.
color code these guys.
That'd be great.
Make it a little easier. So the red, he appears to be the guy giving orders.
Okay.
So if you want to target the farmost right guy, that's purple guy.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll target the red guy then. Yeah, I'll mark him as my prey, and do a hunted shot as my last action.
What's your range on that? You have a
200 feet.
All right, cool. You go for it. Yeah, because you're using a composite longbow.
It's just a longbow.
A regular longbow. Okay, go for it.
He's got the range.
I did get a nat 20 on the first hit,
Sick.
and the second hit for that hunted shot is a 36.
Both hit.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna be rolling some dice here for a second.
Yeah, let's see where this goes.
Let's see what happens here. Tristan went and just cleaved a good portion out of him. Anthar's just gonna be like, he did.
Just give me a moment. Sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
Uh,
Oh man, this is gonna do a lot of damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
I fucking hope so.
Oh, and you know what's awesome
Oh boy.
is on a crit with the electric rune, the shock rune. It hits 2 targets 10 feet away.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
10 foot away? Okay. So you hit the blue guy, but not the purple or the other guy.
Okay.
that's
That's
okay.
So I'm at okay. Sorry. I need to calculate this real quick.
You're fine.
Calculate how much damage this guy's gonna take.
Did you just kill my commander?
God, I hope so. That would be amazing.
I think he just killed the commander. Or
He might have just killed
Well-
the commander.
the captain or lieutenant at least.
Whatever. Who cares?
The guy that's giving orders.
Yeah, that's 76 damage.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Okay. Okay. What? Before I go into the description, what did you do to the blue guy?
So the blue guy only gets electric shock, which was 5 damage.
Okay.
I believe that's how that works. I'm gonna say that's how that works because I don't think he gets. It wouldn't make sense that he gets the arrow hit too. But
No, yeah, he wouldn't get the arrow. Right? He would whatever the shock is. That's what he gets.
yeah. So that's gonna be 5 for that.
Okay. And then what was it? 70? What? 70 what?
76.
76 damage.
So how's Homeboy
Wow.
looking?
Because it's like a crit on one shot and then a regular shot.
Wow.
So it's essentially like hitting it like 3 times essentially.
Wow. Okay. How many actions was that? Was that it for your turn?
That will be it. The 100 shot is 1 action for 2 loaded shots, basically.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I actually did forget one other thing, but that's fine. I forgot my precision hit, but that's okay.
you don't need it.
They don't.
You launch 2 arrows. They both pierce the commanding orc, and you see his eyes almost jettison and explode in his sockets as a surge of energy rushes both him and his mount. Alongside his compatriot to his right side, he immediately, after convulsing in his saddle, falls off his horse, catatonic and dead.
Tristan is just going to look at like the guy that just dropped and just be like, look back at Anthar and be like, I'm not even mad.
Just roasting him.
All right, and that's it for your turn, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. The orc riders, upon seeing their commander being thrashed by a single hit and 2 arrows, look at each other and yell out, "They killed the commander! Run!"
Oi! The fuck do you think this is? I need some information.
They are running the F away from you.
Tristan's like, damn it.
That's so funny.
But he's gonna dismount and search the commander, see if there's anything left on that charred corpse.
My goodness.
Ugh.
All right. So yeah, you on the body, you find, what do you find? Let's see.
Holy crap.
Dude, nice.
That's
You
wild.
find a neck splitter, which is a large orcish axe,
Ooh.
and a
Nice.
composite short bow. I don't know. What else? Let's see. Did you find anything else?
Oh, composite short bow.
Nice. You can have one now, Tristan.
You don't find much else on the guy.
Yeah, I would assume it's all ash now.
Yeah, it's pretty charry. Also, the horse is dead.
Fuck.
Just-
Then, could I tell if it was a war horse or not now by kind of glancing at the corpse?
It was.
Tristan's just gonna kind of nod to the horse, pat Longshanks, and remount, and then look at the two humans and be like, right. Now
Looks
that
It looks like it had a heart attack. It went quickly.
No kidding. Holy crap.
fucking to the horse. Fuck the orc, but to the horse. He died valiantly. I'm gonna look to the two downed riders and be like, right, you two, start talking now.
All right. So one of the two seems to be catatonic, completely unconscious with that head wound. The other,
Not even fair.
a dark skin complexion individual, very tall, very bulky, even with him on his knees tending to his compatriot. You get the sense of kind of how broad-shouldered this particular individual is.
Right, so I'm staying on my horse. Because I don't want to find out if this guy is talking to me or not.
And he turns to you, Tristan.
Mhm.
Ah, thank the gods. We're held captive at Fort Rannoch. It's finally about time we've gotten a bit of a luck.
Do you mind explaining to those of us who just kind of walked up on an orc warband what's happening?
Well, they attacked the fort. My
Mhm.
friend and I were sworn to protect it, but
Mm-hmm.
they overpowered us.
Okay.
Took the fort and have held us captive ever since. We finally managed to escape, and well, it's lucky that you were able to find us in time.
Yeah, yeah, we'll say that. Are
There's
you two from the Black Arrows?
aye, we are.
And what exactly happened to the rest of you?
Truthfully, do you have any water first?
I kind of just reached down and handed my canteen because I'm like, yeah, I think homeboys earned it.
He takes a swig, knowing not to drink too much. He takes just a couple of sips, enough to wetten his throat. Thank you, lad. I'd be more than happy to tell you the rest, but I gotta take care of my friend first. I find some place dry off the road. Bound to catch.
We literally just charged down an orc warband for you.
Aye, it did. But as you can see, my friend's at death's door. We are already in a bad state of things, and if we don't attend to him soon, he's not going to make it.
Fine. Tristan's going to rummage around for a help potion. Fucking fine.
I mean, I could take care of this, Tristan, if you want to save that.
Go on, man. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Well, Tristan's rummaging around in his saddlebags like an asshole.
All right, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Okay. So am I just checking the wounds, or am I designating a master expert thing?
Well, you're trying to identify his wounds, or are you trying to heal? Are you first trying to identify and kind of get the lay of the land, or are you going to go right in for the heal?
I'll just straight up heal him.
All right, go ahead and identify what version you want to. You want to roll trained, expert, master. You're not legendary.
One.
Master?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Seems
Medicine.
Doing okay. That is a 35.
All right. You attend to his wounds. It seems that all over his body are a mass of scars and burns, and in some areas, entire bits of flesh have been flayed away.
Oh.
And though you tend to his wounds, he seems to remain unconscious. You are puzzled by that fact, and the conscious individual, gods, must have taken more out of him than we thought. Well, we best make camp, see if we can have him recover. By the state of him, even by your masterful medicine heal, he may not make it if we try to move him.
Yeah. Can I roll a medicine check?
Go ahead. To identify?
Yeah, just to identify it.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's a bit higher. That's 37.
Okay. You would surmise that the combination of what appears to be being dehydrated, lacking of food, tortured, and taking a rather sizable hit to the head, all have resulted in this individual's current state. The head injury in particular being the most notable. Seems that he has a slight, almost a cave in above his right brow.
Mm.
And upon examination, it seems just a little bit squishy.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna definitely cover that with some type of bandage, just to reduce infection and yeah, just kind of cover it.
All right.
Mm.
Well, I thank you. I thank you very much, but we best get out of this rain or we're all likely to catch cold.
Fucking probably.
Yeah,
But
let's get in there.
where exactly can we go? Because you told me that.
I know a place, cave nearby. It's unlikely the orcs know about it. It's not far from here, about half a mile. You should be able to last at least that long.
Cave,
Oh,
you
someone should be
say?
happy.
A cave in the mountain? How cool!
Tristan is going to avoid he's going to strongly resist the urge to facepalm himself with the crossguard of his sword. And he'll just be like, all right, let's go find the cave. Let's just go find the cave. Just go find the cave.
On the way over, we're definitely going to ask about if they've seen Shalelu, or yeah, just about if they've seen Shalelu around.
That's a tale better told around a warm fire, not out in the rain.
I figured we're all riding in the same place. So.
I'd be more than happy to tell you what I know, but I'd rather wait for a hot fire and a full stomach first, if you don't mind.
Tristan's about 3 seconds away from just losing his shit. Like, really? We fucking saved your ass. We fucking healed your boy. We're going to your stupid fucking cave. Are you really gonna hold out on us this long? Tristan's just sitting there with his eye twitching.
I suppose a half-mile ride is not too long.
All right. So you make it to the cave. And inside, it's a fairly shallow cave, but certainly shelters you from the rain. And in fact, there seems to be a remnant of a campfire already laid there, along with a few bits of firewood. The conscious individual kind of lays his unconscious compatriot by the fireplace and kind of helps himself to a blanket off of one of the horses, a couple of blankets off the horses to make a bit of a pillow and then cover his unconscious compatriot. While he does this, do you guys do anything?
Yeah, start that fire going.
Yeah. Start that. Get that. Collect some wood and get that fire going. And dry the fuck off.
All right. Yeah, you make the fire pretty easily. It seems to be pretty dry wood, and in fact, there seems to be a little bit of tinder and fire starter already laid out. And with the fire roaring and his unconscious compatriot seem to be warming by the fire, the conscious individual sits down on a log. Have you any food before I start?
I'll hand over some rations.
He gnaws on the food and thank you. It's been many a day since I've last had a full belly.
So, what in the world has been going on here?
Well, the short of it, my friend there, he and I are brothers of the Black Arrow. His name, Kevin Windstrike. Mine, Viltemros. And some weeks ago, I should imagine,
Mm.
we were overrun at the fort. A thing I didn't think possible.
Mm.
They seemed to know exactly the time to strike. The Captain Jackardros, he was leading a raging battalion outside the forts just to scout out the area, make sure that everything was in check. Keep the ogres and trolls that frequent this part of Eurasia, while at the same time our commander, well, he's known for going on these long walks, you see,
Oh boy.
and somehow these blasted orcs, they knew exactly when to strike the forts, when we were most vulnerable. They attacked with overwhelming force. Not just orcs, mind you, but ogres. By the time the Captain Jack Druss, was able to return, it had already seized the forts. And he and I, he fought valiantly, wasn't able to retake the forts. They captured most of us that didn't die in the first assault. Ate many of my brothers. There was only a few of us left. I, Jackardros, Captain Jack, Kevin over there. The rest. The Yogas had their way. Ate limb to limb.
God.
Along with most of our horses, I would imagine. We thought it lost all hope. They kept us in the dungeon below the keep. We had a plan in mind, but we're too weak to see it through. Then, perhaps a day ago, they threw in a new prisoner, a elf woman, and
Stupid bint.
we told her of our plan. She eagerly helped us see it out, but she and Captain Jack, upon our escape, we were caught, and they managed to cover our escape while we fled. I can only imagine what they're doing to them now. I had already tried to torture answers out of Captain Jack and Vale and Kevin and I. But God help them now. He takes a bite out of the rations. Have you anything strong to drink? I could certainly use one about now.
I got nothing.
Fresh
I
out
mean,
of
I have a
luck,
minor
mister.
deduction of willow bark, but I don't think that's going to do anything for the man.
Well, I thank you. I thank you anyway.
Hey, is it Vel, right?
Vale.
Vale. Do you happen to know the garrison commander?
I do. He was the best of us. Rather, the most knowledgeable one, senior of our order. He served at the fort longer than any man there. Name's Leonard. We always called him Commander L. Considered him more of a father than a commander. He had this peculiar routine, always to go out and these long walks, these midnight walks about every other fortnight. Said it was to become more familiar with the land he was tasked with protecting. Some of us thought it was a bit odd, but rarely would you question the commander. More often than not, knows what he's talking about and is right. Though some of us thought it odd, we never brought it up. Then there's Captain Jack, second in command. Probably the best ranger of us, perhaps even better than the commander, though no one would say such a thing, at least not in front of either of them. Truly a brother, that one. He covered our retreat, wanted to see us off before he kind of pauses for a moment. He wanted to see us safely out of the forts and able garrison word before he'd even consider taking a horse. Not that there was much in the way of mounts. Seems that the orcs, the ogres, when they were done eating my brothers, started feeding on the horses.
God.
I can only imagine what they're doing to him now. They already tried their best to leech information out of him about the secrets of the command, the forts. Hope we can get to him in time before. And he stops and quiets himself.
Before something untoward happens.
He doesn't seem to be able to muster the words, but he only nods. Well, I suppose I have to thank you. Seem a very capable group, the lot of you. The way that dispatch that orc leader in nay a few swings of your sword and a couple of arrows. I'm going to ask you something. And I pray the answer is yes. Would you help me retake the fort before it's too late for Captain Jack?
That elf woman that you were telling us about, she's still up there?
Aye.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. That's his wife, so, we kind of have to go get her.
Wife.
Not really.
She's very...
Oh, he knows.
She too refused to take a mount, preferring to cover our escape, hoping that we might fetch word and gather individuals to retake the fort. And
when we find Shalelu alive, I'm gonna kill her. God damn it.
Let's hope we're lucky enough to do so.
If anybody's staying alive out of spite, it's probably her. Look, we can help you retake the fort, but we need to know more. Do you know how many people are, what's occupying the fort? How many orcs are there? What are we up against?
Truthfully, I can only speculate their numbers. I certainly had enough to take the fort on its own, but I don't know if they've reinforced. Their numbers include orcs and ogres, to be sure. And there's this woman.
Oh, no.
Go on, all right. There's this woman. What's her name?
Does she have a snake body?
A snake body.
I don't know. Very terrifying. Just absolutely evil.
No, not.
Thank God.
She's certainly
What is she?
venomous as a snake, but not a snake in the literal sense of the word. I thought her a simple proprietor of this barge in town, a gambling hall, a tavern, and to some a brothel. Seems that her influence has gone beyond the being a entrepreneur and proprietor of the establishment in Turtleback. I don't know the full extent and exactly how she ties into all this, but she certainly has some sway at the fort now. We all at the in the fort thought her dead. She used to run this little tavern called the Paradise, little barge she would take out into the lake and run as a gambling hall. Even some of my men were known to frequent the place. never approved, of course, of the men going into such a place, but men will do what they do on their leave days. And so long as they return to their posts, I didn't argue.
Oh, first mistake, mate.
I realize that now.
Not a criticism, but trust me, yeah, trust me. It's better to. Men are going to have desires, and they're going to get sloppy, but it's better to limit the excessive debauchery that soldiers indulge in. Otherwise, fractures can become cracks.
I thought at the time it would be good for morale. The men of the Black Era were sworn not to take wife or have children. And though the commander wouldn't approve, I thought it good for the morale of the men, but I see my mistake now. Well, she has some sort of play in this Lucretia. I don't know how deep her influence goes, but she was certainly commanding the ones that tortured my brothers and I. So she has some sway at least. Though she doesn't seem to be commanding the orcs, at least. That's left to this one-handed bastard.
Oh, fuck me raw.
This rather large, even by orc standards. I saw him cut through nay a dozen of my men during the siege, all wielding an axe. Not in his hand, mind you, but attached to what was left of his limb.
He doesn't happen to be going by the name of Orc Talk, is it?
If I had to guess, it'd be the very same. The ones on the wanted posters.
Oh, man.
Thor. We're going to have to retake this bloody fort, aren't we?
We're going to need some more help.
Definitely going to need to call in every single favor we have and get some support here. Or we're going to have to find a structural weakness and burn everyone out. But let's face it, that's probably not going to happen.
Well, that's where you're wrong, I'd say. You see, I was third in command and knew most of the secrets of the forts. They largely overlooked me, thinking I was just some brute. But little do they know, we have a few options to get in. And if we're lucky, perhaps even unnoticed.
Really? That would
Really?
be impressive.
Yeah. That might be handy. No pun intended.
We either go small and stealthy or big and loud.
If we're going big and loud, we're going to need a few more hands to go loud. Like, no offense, but I don't think you, me, axes here, and unconscious are exactly going to be able to fight against a fucking orc war band and ogres if they're there.
Yeah, probably not a chance.
I mean, we're good. Don't get me wrong. We're really good. But suicide. Yeah, pretty much. That's suicide.
Well,
That you barely got out of there alive. We're definitely going to need a few more swords pointed in the enemy direction.
well, we might be able to scrounge up a few men from Turtleback. Though, if we tarry too much, I fear that they'll up and kill the captain, and frankly, I don't even know where the commander is. He also mentioned, well, I overheard some other plans that they have in mind. Don't know the details, but I know that they're not too far from reaching their goals. Frankly, I don't know that we have that much time.
Fuck me. We're gonna have to go in half cocked. Is that what we're doing? Are we just going genitals to the fortifications?
Oh, wouldn't put it quite like that. I have a few ideas in mind. See if we can't outsmart these blundering bastards.
All right, big man. I like the sound of that. Especially if it means all my extremities are still attached to me by the end of this little scrap, and I get to put a few dents in my sword. What do you have in mind?
Well, do you have a piece of parchment and some ink or charcoal?
I hand him some charcoal. I think I have some like rubbing charcoal, and yeah, I've got some charcoal and some. I've got charcoal and I've got some parchment. I will hand that over.
All right, so he takes the charcoal and spends a few minutes scratching in a sketching of what looks to be the fort.
Aha!
Right. Well, as you can see, here's the fort. Main fortifications are here and here. Rather, the main wall here. And the keep itself here and here. With watchtowers spaced accordingly.
Okay.
There are 2 gates to the fort. We came in, we escaped using this gate. No doubt they would have boarded it up by now, perhaps leaving the other gate open. Little do they know, there's a few secret ways inside. Here, next to the watering hole, is a waterfall, and behind it, a cave. Now, of course, if we wanted to, we could go in swords blazing and take our chances at any sentries that might be on watch. Though, this cave may be a better option. This cave leads all the way behind the forts. And there's even an entrance that can lead us to the old barracks. Now, if we were to hazard a guess, the orcs would probably turn that into a bit of a barracks themselves.
According to Wikipedia.
Serious voice from beyond.
Now, if I were hazard a guess, they've turned the old barracks into their sleeping quarters. I've always wanted to replace the old thing. A bit of a tinderbox. Now, if we can get someone to sneak in there, light it up while they're asleep, it'll certainly raise the alarm, but at least dispatch a good handful of the ogres. I don't expect most of them will be inside the keep itself. Bit of a tight quarters for ogres. Though the orcs have certainly made that their home, I'm sure. Further, there's a weapon stash in one of these caves. And if we can get there, well, I certainly put a few axes there myself. Much prefer axes over any other weapon. At least have that going for me. A couple other tools that we can have at our disposal. Beyond that, we can sneak in the fort itself by using a secret entrance under the fort. We chose not to go this route on our escape, as the way is guarded by lightning lizards.
Oh, piss and thunder.
Bit prickly, those ones, and
A bit?
we were worried the alarm would be raised if we... but in any case, we didn't have the energy to fight them. Barely had enough energy to sneak out. And God's being good, we were left unnoticed, at least until we found our way to the stable. Though the gods only saw fit to provide us with one horse.
And he's currently out of commission.
Aye.
I guess that says it all then. I mean, if you can lead us through one of these secret paths and we can get everybody... Anthar, how are your hands if we were to sneak down to the dungeons and break everybody out? Because theoretically, I'm going to point to the map and just kind of trace it with a finger. If we can lead everybody to a secret armory and at least get them armed, maybe not with what they prefer, but just something to fight back, we might have a chance.
We can certainly try.
To die trying, to die,
Just die.
and then they're going to die regardless. They can either try to die, if they're going to die regardless, but to die fighting, then, kneeling.
I suppose we have some high stakes in the situation already.
Have we never had high stakes, Anthar? We've always had the odds against us, and we've always managed to pull through moderately well.
Somewhat unscathed.
Somewhat unscathed. And I guess, if it's time for the gods to call our luck and the luck's spent, and so be it. But we'll die gloriously. We'll kill some fucking bastards while we're at it.
Yeah, I'm in. For sure.
I guess we should rest up and see if we can't tackle this by daylight. You and your friend, you've been driven hard. I think you earned a respite.
I certainly wouldn't say no to at least one good night's sleep before.
Rest up by the fire. We'll take care of watches.
He nods at both of you, saying nothing, but his eyes are full of thanks. All right. Well, I think that is where we're going to end tonight.
Oh, we're going to have to fight a lot of fucking people next session. Oh, boy.
Thank you to all. Thank you to those watching now and those watching later. Till next time.
Peace out, guys.